To finish off this year's Tribute Zone, Wiz will take on the personality of one Otaku Nate, host of Otaku Nate's Lost World of Anime. Today's review will be on Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, The Pyramid of Light. If you're an otaku, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or you've simply seen this movie, you've entered the Tribute Zone. Hello everyone, welcome to Otaku Nate's Lost World of Anime, taking you to worlds unknown in the anime spectrum. Now, some of you are probably wondering where my sideburns and even my hockey jersey went. Well, right. So today we're going to be looking at an anime that's pretty mainstream and one I actually haven't seen since I was a really young kid. That being Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! As one of those animes I grew up with and liking for a fair amount, but after a while I just kind of found myself moving on to other anime. Very similar with my experience with Pokemon. Sure, it's a good series, but I just found myself drifting away after a while. But more or less, we're not going to be looking at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, no. Today we're going to be looking at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, The Pyramid of Light. Released in 2004 by Warner Brothers in the US, and in Japan released by Toho, yes, Toho as in Godzilla Toho, The Pyramid of Light was the feature film that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans have been waiting for, finally being able to see the card battles on the silver screen. And joy of joys, it's dubbed by 4Kids. You can certainly tell we're in for a treat. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. The movie begins with narration telling us what exactly the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game is, and how Yu-Gi-Moto is the one to go on to become the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. After that, we see a ton of people learning Yugi's status as the champion, and almost everyone is ready to take him on in a duel. And then we see a repeat of the first episode? Yeah, Yugi and Kaiba already fought in the first episode of the show, so do we need to see them fight again? Well, I'm not too upset by it, because it turns out this is actually a simulation. Kaiba storms off in his dragon-shaped jet. Yeah, can you tell this guy has a thing for dragons yet? To meet up with Pegasus, the creator of the card game. Pegasus says that there's a card he hasn't used, which is obviously going to be the card that will put the whole world in jeopardy, but one thing at a time. Kaiba and Pegasus have their own duel once again. This already happened in the show, and Kaiba wins the match, taking 2 of Pegasus' cards. Meanwhile, Yugi, yes, he is seriously in the movie, is being chased by all the people who want to duel him from earlier. Don't people have school or jobs in this world? Or what, does the entire economy survive on people playing this card game? But Joey and Tristan fend off the crowd.
Out of the way, we want to take on Yugi, not you.
Yeah, right!
We want the king of games, not the king of lame.
The dual monster's champ, not chump!
The master of the gods, not the master of the clods.
Hey, I think I get the point already. But you gotta prove yourselves first by dueling a top contender, and I think I know one. Me, Joey Wheeler. So if you wanna get to the king of games, you'll have to go through me. The godfather of games, Skippies.
Unfunny pop culture references, forced one-liners. Yeah, you can definitely tell 4Kids had a big hand in this. But Yugi and Tia come back too early, and they are chased once again. They manage to hide in a museum as they meet up with Yugi's grandpa, and they talk about the Pyramid of Light.
Legends say a brave pharaoh destroyed him using the mystical dagger of fate. The same pharaoh who many believe possessed your Millennium Puzzle.
And then this happens.
From the light comes the dark.
Big little delicate moment.
As Yugi wakes up, the pyramid and the pharaoh have been stolen, and even though there are police there, they don't seem to stop Yugi, who is clearly a witness. Yugi is however stopped by Kaiba's brother, who tells him that Kaiba is acting a little weird.
My brother sent me to find you, and he said that it's real important that you bring your duel disc right away.
Wait, so he's okay then?
I wouldn't say he's okay. All I know is that Seto hasn't been acting like himself lately.
Considering Kaiba has actually never gotten over the fact he lost a card game to Yugi, I don't think this is as weird as we're making it out to be. So they arrive, and Kaiba locks Yugi in for a card battle. But Kaiba pulls out the Pyramid of Light card, which not only banishes Yugi's god cards, it also banishes Yugi, Joey, and Tristan into the pyramid. The Pharaoh and Kaiba engage in a card match. I would say this movie is nothing more but just people playing the card game, but that's essentially what the show was. But at the same time, at least the show didn't go on for at least a good hour and a half. Meanwhile, inside the pyramid, Tia jumps in and they're brought together through the power of friendship. Not even kidding, that actually happens. Just watch.
Friends till the end.
Yeah!
Right. You see, there's nothing out there that's more powerful than our friendship.
Oh my god, they're fighting mummies! This is awesome!
How the mighty have fallen.
No! Go back to the mummy fighting! Anyway, Kaiba gets possessed by Anubis until Anubis steps into one of his forms, challenging the Pharaoh to finish the duel against him.
All I need do is defeat you in this duel.
Because if there's one thing villains are known for, it's playing fair.
Soon worms will feast on your flesh, just as they did on mine.
Your worms will have to wait, Anubis.
This is getting a little awkward. Can we please go back to the mummy fighting scene, please? Yugi learns from the prophecy that the way to defeat Anubis is with the Dagger of Light, and despite having as good as aim as Jeff Daniels, he lands the hit, weakening the pyramid, and the Pharaoh uses the card to resurrect the blue-eye shining dragon to destroy the pyramid for good.
He meant wiping me out with my own Egyptian gods! Allow me to introduce Obelisk the Tormentor, Slifer the Sky Dragon, and the Winged Dragon of Ra, my Egyptian gods!
Okay, that was kind of badass. But Anubis isn't finished yet, as he comes back in the form of the End of Anubis, his final form.
What do you think of my third form?
Couldn't resist, could I? But Blue-Eye Shining Dragon is summoned once again, and he destroys him for good. A bit anticlimactic, I would say, but whatever.
Yeah? Well, this conversation's over. We'll duel again.
What Kaiba doesn't get is that victory means nothing, unless you can share it with the people you love. Because then, you're really a winner.
You can say that again.
And that was Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, and meh. I would say this truly is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, but that would be a bit of an unfair comparison. A lot of the time it feels like they're the same duels we've seen in the show before. Hell, the most interesting thing in this movie was the mummy fights. Seriously, those were the only scenes that were great. But overall, the movie's just a little too long for its own good, no matter which version you pick. The Japanese version is 101 minutes long, and the American version is 89 minutes long, with 4Kids and Warner Bros. Doing a lot of serious trimming. And who knows, as long as the Japanese version is, it probably explained a lot more than the American one. Either way, if you're a hardcore Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan, you might like this. Emphasis on might, because a lot of fans seem to hate this movie. But as a person who casually just likes the franchise, this movie didn't annoy me too much, neither did I love the entire thing from beginning to end. I'm Otaku Nate, signing off and saying, let's not duel today, alright? I have a major headache.
Your move!
It's time!
And there you have it. That concludes this year's Tribute Zone. So, I think it's about time for the Meteorist to go back to his proper dimension. Well, I can do that. Alright. Open up the script. Done. I'm back. I'm back. Guys! Guys, I'm back! Oh, hey, kid. Oh, hey, Wiz. Did you guys not notice that I was gone for like the past 5 weeks? Trying to hop from universe to get back here? Kid, just look at yourself. You're smart, you're sassy, we knew you'd come back eventually. I mean, besides, Wiz, you've taken on an evil dictator version of yourself from an alternate dimension, twice, I might add, a trilogy of really unfunny comedies, a brain tumor that grew sentience, Sonichu Comics, Amy's Baking Company, Pope Town, and Hot Sauce Fanfics. You definitely endured a lot worse than interdimensional travel, so we sort of figured you'd come back eventually. Screw you guys aren't fun anymore.